truth that you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison for your mind.
Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the tree of life and how Abdullah the Black Mystic from Ethiopia was Neville Goddard's mentor. How he taught him to look within himself to discover that the Bible is a book of mind science. And so, by the things that was taught to Neville, he realized what the Bible was really all about. And that was when he come to the realization that the mind is the garden. And when he speak of the two trees in the garden, you have to understand your mind. And you have to understand your left brain and your right brain thinking. Also, you have to come to realize that thoughts become things. And that everything that is on the outside, it begins on the inside. Because you have to first of all perceive it. So the power that is in you, which is the very life that is in you, that life is your real being. So when it speaks of the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, it is teaching you that you can vibrate under the frequency of knowing who you are, or you can vibrate under the frequency whereby you believe in an outside entity. So when you believe in an outside entity, you would believe in the realm of right and wrong. And most people who think in terms of right and wrong, they do not have any understanding of the law of polarity. That everything has its polar opposite. And that is why, my brother and my sisters, when you eat from the tree of life, is when you discover the phenomena of life. It is when you discover your eternal self, your true self. And in that state of mind, you do not blame anyone for anything in this world. Because you realize that everyone is your own self being pushed out. And you realize that there's no one to change but self. And so you decide to change self, to walk upon self, to walk upon your life. Because you are the tree of life. The whole story is about your life. That is why the whole story is psychological. Because your psyche is what is creating your personality. And that is why you must understand the story of the garden with the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. As long as you could realize that all of this story is taking place within you, you will never be able to understand life until you realize that it's all about you, as I would have said before. So when Abdullah told Neville to sleep in his mother's home in Barbados in his imagination while he was residing in New York, he was bringing him into a place where he would realize that he is the tree of life. Because there's only one life. And that life is always within. And that life is always invisible. And its energy, its vibration, its frequency. So when you look at the anatomy of your body, you realize the anatomy of the tree on which life or all life hangs upon. And you can bring forth from that tree something destructive or something creative. You see, in the power of the tongue lies the power of life and death. So the knowledge of good and evil and the knowledge of life is all mental. It's all psychological. It's not a literal story. And it can never ever be a literal story. That is why not until you learn to love life, accept life, embrace life, by believing in yourself and loving yourself, not until you come to that stage that you will understand human relations. So my brothers, my sisters, all those who try to paint a picture of the Bible as a literal historical book, they do that to blind those who cannot think for themselves and to control those who cannot think for themselves. And that is why they would all be eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because they would all be living in a mindset of judgment, always judging, condemning, shaming. And that's why religion, politics, and fake education is all built upon. But when you understand the power of your imagination and you understand your mental faculties, like your will, your perception, your intuition, your imagination, you realize that you're born with all of these mental faculties in this world. Even though you're born in a state of forgetfulness or a state of amnesia, yet these mental faculties were always here with you. And you want to grow and develop them. But instead, they rob you from all of that and make you believe in education, as in academic education, more than your imagination. Therefore, they make you believe in the creation over your creative power. So it's the creation, you serving the creation when you are actually the creator, defeating yourself, lying to yourself. You worshiping the perception when you are actually the perceiver. You going after the shadow when you are actually the reality. So my brothers, my sisters, all of this wisdom I'm sharing with you is to help you to realize that you are the tree of life. This body is the tree on which life hangs. And you have choice to be creative or destructive. So your superpower is your choice. And so we see many people who lack understanding of who they are. We see they're giving away their freedom because they rather a lifestyle than the very life that creates the lifestyle. And that is why it is very important for everyone to understand that the main lesson that Abdullah was really teaching Neville Goddard was for him to realize how powerful he was and how he would only come to that realization by understanding the Bible psychologically and understanding that the Bible is a book of mind science, and it pointing him to look inwardly. That's when he discovered true Christianity. So my brothers, my sisters, anyone who's teaching you to believe in a God or a Savior or Redeemer outside of yourself, they're keeping you in darkness, they're keeping you in blindness. But I'm here to wake you up by saying to you, man, know thyself, look within. The truth is within you. Do not look for the tree of life in any geographical place in this world. Look within thyself, and you will find all the answers of life within yourself. And you will realize that you are the living book that must interpret the written book, not by words, but by your action. And that is why it is said that those who know don't speak, and those who speak do not know. So, my brothers, my sisters, remember, you got to put what I'm saying to work in your life and prove that the Creator is within you. That is why we do not go on our knees and pray to a God outside of ourselves. We do according to Psalms 4:4. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. And Matthew 6:6 that says to go in to the secret place, the place of meditation. That is why we meditate. That's why we visualize. That's why we script. And we do journaling. We do mirror work. We do all these things because we know that we are spirit having a human experience. Therefore, we walk from the world of spirit because we understand the tree of life and what it's all about, and the knowledge, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and what it's all about. And we choose a life. And that is why we see everyone in this world on the basis of life, on the aspect of life. Because whenever we see everyone on the basis of life, and we understand that life is God and God is life, we can't help but see God in each and every one. And so we would definitely improve on our human relations, and everything in our life would change for the best, because we realize that life cannot die, but it can be transmuted. And in another way, you can just say energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transmuted. And we know everything that we depend upon, we know that it is the transmutation of energy. Therefore, my brothers and my sisters, you came here to discover that you are the tree of life, and that you can create your life whichever way you want it to be. And that's Abdullah's lesson to Neville Goddard and also to the rest of humanity. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much. I want to say to you, if it is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying, it makes sense to you, really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru. And if you feel strongly led to support this work, there's always a PayPal link. Just feel free to check it. It's down below. Plus other information that are there that might be very much useful to you. Also, I want to mention that we have a Patreon and we have a course there called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to create your reality consciously, or the Inner Sun Engineering to create your reality consciously. And it's all about you being in alignment with nature. Because to be honest with you, everything that is going on in your life that is not bringing you into a place of joy, peace, and happiness, it is because you are out of alignment, and you have to be in alignment with the sun. So all of that teaching is teaching you about the sun and how to get in touch with the sun that is within you, that light that is within you, that you will be in true alignment, and you will operate just like the sun. Everything that the sun shines upon, it bringeth forth in abundance, and everything you shine, you shines upon also in your meditation. You will bring forth, just like the sun bringeth forth. You will come into that place of your abundant life, because you just look at nature, as you can look around and see. Look at nature, and every time you look at nature, what are you seeing? You're seeing abundance. You're seeing prosperity. So it is you who's out of alignment, and we want to put you back in alignment. So if you feel strong in there to check out that course, feel free to be a part. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to say peace, love you all. I'm out.